Hi. Today I'm going to be doing an activity that I sometimes use in the playroom, and it's called a worry jar. Now this isn't something that I've come up on my own. You'll see that there are quite a lot of reference to it on the internet, but I thought I'd show you my take on the activity. And it's a really nice activity to use, not only for children but for adults as well, where what you do is you're going to need some kind of physical jar, glass jar or plastic jar, and what the activity entails is decorating and making your own worry jar, where you then write down your worries and put them inside. And the reason for that is to help us or our children from continually having to replay the worries, the things that we're worrying about in our heads. It's kind of like a safe place to store them and put them in. And then what the activity entails is sitting together with your child and decorating the jar. You can do your own one as well. It can actually really be a nice family activity to do. And then everyone spends some time actually writing down their worries and putting them in the jar. Then what you do after that is every day you will schedule a time where you are allowed to worry. I know this might sound a bit weird, but basically 10 to 15 minutes in a day where you can then sit down, put a timer on, and actually go through the worries that you've put in the jar and worry about them. It can be a really nice structured activity to stop sort of a generalized worrying from happening all throughout the day, to rather make it more structured and time specific, and it can really help to reduce worry. The other thing that is really nice also is it can be a discussion topic. So what you can do with your child's consent is for everyone to sit together, either you and one child or the family together, and actually go through some of the worries in our jars. A bit of sharing time, a bit of discussion time. What you'll find over time is that some of the worries become quite redundant, and you may find that you're not worrying about that anymore. It's really important then to actually take that worry out and tear it up to make space for new worries, because let's face it, there are often stressful things that come up in life, not just what we're experiencing now with the COVID-19, but yeah. So I'm going to go through actually making the jar, and you'll see that I have quite a few different things that I found around the practice, because at the moment in South Africa we actually can't go out and go shopping, so I'm really using what I had. And I've had people ask me, we don't really have anything at home, we don't really have different paper at home or anything like that. Never fear. If you do have a garden, you can use these, and you'll see that I even tried writing on, and I don't know if you can see, it says worried about COVID-19, and so you can kind of use a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm going to use a few different things today to make my own worry jar. So you'll see here I found a few different glitter pens, and some cookies and stuff, even Tipex. So I'm going to go ahead and decorate the outside of my jar. So far I've got Tanya's worry jar. Use a butterfly. Got some buttons. Okay. Careful not to stick the glue to your hands. Decided to go with just a basic labeling of my jar and some decorations on the side. You can really go as far as you want with this, and so also important to make sure that you let it dry before you start doing anything else, because it can get quite smudgy. We spend some time writing down our worries while that dries. So as I said, I've got various things. I thought if you don't have trees, maybe there's some kind of gravel in the garden, and you could write on that with a koki. And try and be as specific as you can be, so as to kind of define the worry that it is, don't make it too broad. Is focusing on sort of thinking and worrying a bit about how will life be after lockdown. So already, and be careful because obviously it's glass, you can put that worry in there. I've got my worry snippet of wood and maybe pen will work on this one. Okay, I wrote another worry on that one. Put that in there. And this was my worried about COVID-19, and like I said, to try and be a little bit more specific. And my worry there is a bit of the finances going along with COVID-19. And if you want to go traditional style, if you've got a few kind of, you could write on some kind of post-its. Another one there. Or you could even use, we've got some different colors here. What I sometimes also is nice, if you do have more resources that you can allocate to, is to kind of like doing different colors sort of for different kind of levels of worry, emotions that you can write down on there. Okay, and then you can fold that one up. So you can see the different ways of doing this, and now already my worry jar has quite a very different worries in it. And so what you would then do is this would be kept in a safe space. And I think what is really, really important here is to make sure that your child feels that this is something that no one else is going to go into, and that their privacy is respected, and that if you do have a discussion time together, that they can choose what worries they want to speak about, that they don't have to speak about everything that's in here. Because it's important to have a bit of space, I suppose even for you as an adult, to make sure that this is your own, that no one else is allowed to open this, apart from when you are wanting to share something from there. So then what you would do with the worry time, whether you've got a stopwatch or a timer of some sort on your phone or whatever, you would set the time you would agree on, say for 15 minutes. You would time it and set it and then go. And then so what you can do is you can look and you can go, you know, what are some of the worries in here? You can have a look and see, okay, worrying about business and what's going to happen again after lockdown, you know, that's something I really want to sit with. And then you can actually sit and worry about it if you want to journal about it a bit, or actually just think about all the aspects maybe you could add to this, and then put it back in again and go through as many as you need to. Sometimes your child may say, or you may find, you know what, I don't actually need to worry about anything in here today. I'm not ready to throw anything away, but it's kind of like, I don't need to go there. Sometimes you may open something and go, what was on this? The nice thing about the leaf is it's eventually going to dry out, and so it will, I suppose over time the worry will go away naturally. And if you're done with the worry, then you can just tear it up. Don't need to worry about it anymore. And throw it in the bin. So this is a really nice technique that you can do, as I said, by yourself, with your children, as a family, and to get some of those worries out of our heads and into a contained, safe space. Post any questions that you have. Good luck.